Hi girlies, welcome back to my channel. I just finished filming a story time of placing my very first special order at Hermes this year, so if you're interested in that, I will definitely link it up above. But this video, I did want to do a quick, short and simple unboxing time with you guys of some things that I did pick up last month. Just a couple of cute knickknacks that I would love to share with you guys. So let's get started, but before we do, hi, I'm Somidoshoppers. I make videos once a week on luxury and fashion. I love taking you guys around SF with me, sharing my life with you, and sharing all the little purchases I make along the way. So if you are interested in that at all, I would love it if you subscribe so you do not miss out. Okay, I'm just gonna get started on this big pile right here. And this is actually going to be a true unboxing because I have not opened these items yet. Obviously I know what's inside them, but it's going to be an unboxing for us both. So the first one is from Chanel, just this little thing that I picked up from the latest 24P collection. And it is... And I know you guys might flame me for this a little bit because I have said so many times I'm not going to buy any more of this type of item. But it is one of their classic flap card holders in white caviar leather with silver hardware. And it is so cute. So I have a zippy wallet that has gold hardware, but I actually don't use it very frequently because I feel like I never have like enough things to put inside of a zippy. I think it's maybe better for travel, but I did really want a flap card holder because I wanted something really cute that I could put my keys in, and I have like a car fob, I have apartment fobs and things like that. So this has plenty of space and kind of stretch for all those items to go in, and additionally it has this kind of front pocket where I can put my cards and things like that. So this is going to be like a catch all in one where I can put my car keys, my apartment keys, everything in here, as well as my cards and stuff. So this is just like a one and done grab and go item, and I think it's going to be so nice and convenient to use. Additionally, you guys know me, I love white. I am trying to get into my white gold girl era, so silver hardware is a change for me. I don't really have any SLGs really. I have one SLG that has silver hardware, but most of my SLGs do have gold hardware, so I felt like the white with the silver was just so adorable. And the caviars that come out in seasonal colors are always a little bit more shiny and smooth than the classic ones. So for example, the beige Claire classic flap card holder is always available, and you'll kind of notice that the grains on the beige are like really flat and they're a little bit dull. But if you kind of look at, I don't know if you can really tell on this camera, but the kind of grain on the caviar for the white and any other color, for example, this year they have some light blues, they have lilac purple, and so if you look at them, and I'll try to insert some videos as well of other card holders that I did see, they have like this really kind of beautiful sheen to it. So I really love getting caviar pieces that are in seasonal colors because for some reason, maybe it's just like because the production is newer or something, those caviars always have a little bit more of a shine and kind of puffiness to them, which I really like. A lot of people might not know this, but white is actually considered a seasonal color at Chanel, so it's not always readily available at all times of the year. So when I saw that this color was available for this particular style in the 24P collection, I knew I just had to snatch it up, and so I did. This is going to be a really refreshing change because I've been using this Louis Vuitton key pouch for so long. It wears really well, and it's kind of, you know, a little bit beat up because it stretches and everything, and it doesn't have too much room for stuffing keys and car fobs and everything like that. So changing from this, which was kind of like a starter luxury piece for me, going to now the Chanel Classic Flap card holder is going to be a really cute and refreshing change. The Classic Flap card holder at Chanel currently retails for $625, which I feel like is kind of reasonable still for a small leather good. And there have been so many rumors about price increase for Chanel this year, so I'm glad that I got it at the price that I did, honestly. Next up is something small from Celine. So I actually did unbox this in a previous video, but I did just want to give her a quick shout out again because she is so cute. I did pick up a little scrunchie from Celine. It is so cute. So it's kind of in this very off-white, almost grayish silk material. It has Celine everywhere along the scrunchie, and then the point is this little Triomphe logo right here that does shine really well. And more so than even wearing this as a hair tie accessory, I do really like just putting her as kind of like a wrist accessory. I think this is really chic, kind of cool girl it vibes, and I think it's really convenient too because you can easily obviously pull this off your wrist and actually use it as a hair tie. So I work in biotech, and so I often work in a lab as well, and so in those kind of situations I do have to tie my hair up, and when I go to work I wear absolutely nothing. I wear no jewelry, I wear very plain clothes. I have no touches of luxury, no bags or anything like that when I go to work. And so I think this is just a really nice, kind of on the more quieter side, where I can have that little extra touch of luxury, and it is really cute when you tie your hair up as well. I mean, it just functions as a very regular scrunchie, but I do think it's just really cute, and probably one of the cutest hair accessories I've seen of all luxury brands. I actually went into Chanel looking for a different hair accessory. I really wanted the large claw clip that came in like tortoise shell. They unfortunately didn't have it at the specific boutique that I went to, but I did go to another boutique and they did put my name and number down, so they can contact me when the tortoise shell claw clip comes in, because even more so than tying your hair into a ponytail, I've been really obsessed with that. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen that TikTok, but it's like that claw clip hack where you kind of just like twist your hair like twice upwards. It comes up like this and then you claw clip it, and this is just so convenient, especially at work too, because a ponytail, since my hair is a little bit long, can kind of flop over my shoulder when I'm working and it can get a little bit annoying. So claw clips for me are a little bit more practical and convenient to use. So hopefully the claw clip comes in soon, because the tortoiseshell is kind of on the darker side, so again, it's very muted. You cannot tell that it's luxury at all. It blends in really nicely with my black hair, and so I really hope that it comes in soon, because I think it's so cute and I would love to share it with you guys as well. The hair tie retails for $300, so definitely kind of on the expensive side for a hair accessory, obviously. And then I believe the claw clip that I originally wanted to buy retails for $475 actually, which was kind of mind-blowing to me. But again, I think I'm kind of like a one and done kind of person. I only need one hair tie in my life. I only need one claw clip in my life. So to me, it's a little bit more worth it, because I'm going to get a lot of wear and a lot of use out of it for a very, very long time. Okay, next up is some Hermes pieces that I did end up picking up right after I had placed my special order bag, which I am so excited about. So first up from Hermes are two very special friends that will be joining the family. So I had received one of them a little bit earlier, and then I picked up one right after I had gotten my special order. So let's unbox this one first. This is the one that I had received a couple weeks ago maybe. My essay knows that I love horses. I used to ride horses a lot more frequently. I don't really have the time now, but I do love horses. So anytime he sees a cute kind of neutral combination of a rodeo or a pegasus, he always texts me, and I always say yes. So this is the first one. It is a pegasus. So this is the second pegasus I've ever received from the boutique. So cute. Its tail is a little bit funky in the box, I guess. But I had received this one pretty soon after I had received my Birkin 25, which is also in noir. So I love that the tail, mane, and strap are in noir. The body is in cray, and then the wings are in rouge age. I think this is a really pretty neutral that will match so well with my Birkin, and so I think whenever I'm feeling a little bit more fun and festive, I'll switch out my So Black Rodeo and replace it with this cutie instead. Isn't she so cute? Next up is another super cute friend. My essay knows that I just only really want rodeos or pegasus that are in neutral colors. I don't really like the kind of extravagant ones, so this one is something that maybe people might think is a boring color combination, but this is something that just sings to my heart. It is another Pegasus beauty, and this time the body is in gold, the mane and tail are in cray, and then the wings are in a tube. Again, just a very neutral girly. I think this would look so good on my Birkin 30, which is gold, and I think it's also perfect because I did just place my special order and my colors were Nata any tube, and I feel like cray any tube would look so good on it as well. These Pegasuses currently retail for $700, so a little bit of an expensive friend, but again, I do really love collecting these horses because I think they're so adorable. I've amassed quite a collection so far, so I only have one other that I'd particularly really love to have, which is a rodeo or pegasus that is kind of like light colored and also has mauve pale. There's quite a few rodeos and pegasus that do have mauve pale somewhat incorporated into them, but sometimes they have like weird color combinations, like a really bright color, or last time the most recent one was like mauve pale and beige marfa, I believe, which is a little bit like a brown, gray, green color. So yeah, just waiting for the perfect mauve pale baby to come to me, and then after that I think I'll be pretty set on my horses because honestly these are just kind of like sitting in my collection. I can't rotate them fast enough to use all of them, but I do really appreciate that my essay does reach out whenever he does have a really cute neutral one. Next up is something that is super popular to get at Hermes, and it is in this pretty large box right here. I'd seen this all over social media and kind of like all over Facebook pages and things like that. I never really wanted to bite the bullet, but recently I have been drinking a little bit more tea, and especially because I'm doing a little bit more like sit in front of the camera and just talk about whatever is on my mind, I thought that it would be really nice to have a cute tea set that I could drink tea or coffee out of while I'm chatting with you, so you can also grab a little drink and settle comfortably to watch any of my videos. So I did end up picking one of the tea sets. This is the mosaique tea set in the silver colorway, and I actually never saw it in person before because typically this set is always sold out, whether it be in the gold or whether it be in the silver, but they did just happen to have a shipment the day that I had come to place my special order, and I saw it on display, and I think it was actually really beautiful. So let me just pull it out really quickly. So you can buy them individually, but typically they like to sell them in the set because I think it comes with the box like this. But let me start with the teacup. So it has this gray kind of mosaic tiling, and then it also has these silver squares all throughout the cup that do really shimmer and catch the light, and I think it's so pretty. I thought that the gold version was a little bit, I don't know if gaudy is the right word, but it was definitely a little bit too yellow, and so I definitely really liked this kind of a little bit more muted silver toned cup. And then it does of course come with the matching tea plate. So again, in the really similar patterning, and it does have the H in the middle as well. So this is going to be really good for a morning cup of tea or coffee, or just gabbing with you guys. Alternatively, I think that if you're looking for a gift for someone, this is honestly such a beautiful and timeless gift to give to somebody. I think anybody would love to either display these in their home or of course use them as well. Each teacup and saucer set does retail for $285, so I believe in total I paid $570. I don't have anything fancy like this in terms of cups or tableware or anything like that, so I'm super excited to start displaying these and using them in my home. And then the last thing I picked up was a little gift for Matthew. He is really into shoes and he's just been wanting a new pair of shoes. This man has so many shoes, I really don't know why he needs another pair. But he did think that these were really nice, and he had been wanting to look at them for a while. And then again, it's just like all the stars aligned when my special order came in, because when I placed the order afterwards, he had seen the shoes on display, and they just happened to have a size as well, which is honestly a little bit rare for this particular shoe style because it is really popular amongst both women and men. So it is the bouncing sneaker for men, and I believe the colorway is called Blanc. It is made of leather, so you can see that this main paneling here is leather. It does also have some kind of grayish or kind of off-white suede, and then the interior as well as the big H here, and kind of like the H's and little H here and in the back here are all in this really pretty navy color. And so again, I love neutrals, and I always kind of err on the side of picking neutrals for what I wear, and then also Matthew does also dress very plainly and casually, so I thought this was a really great shoe for him because it can be kind of dressed up a little bit in the fact that it is like a leather shoe. Of course it's a little bit more of like an athletic looking leather shoe, but I do think that it's still appropriate for him to wear into the office. And then also in terms of making it more casual, it can be a very casual shoe because of the silhouette. And the main fact for him was that he said that these were super duper comfortable. So if your significant other is looking for a really comfortable yet high quality shoe, I think that you should definitely consider the bouncing sneakers. I know that across a lot of people who shop at Hermes, the bouncing sneaker is always one of the most popular shoes that sell out very quickly. I don't have a pair myself because I don't wear too many sneakers, but for men specifically, I do think this is a really lovely gift to give. I don't know if any of you guys have superstitions in your culture regarding shoes, but in Korea actually, there's a superstition that you should never buy your significant other a pair of shoes because they will run away from you. I have bought Matthew so many shoes at this point that he could run miles and miles and miles away from me if he wanted to, but he hasn't yet, so of course it's just a superstition. I do think it's really funny, and I would love to know down in the comments if you have ever heard that before or if you have a special superstition in your culture as well. The bouncy sneakers just come with the white laces already laced into the shoe, but because it does have that navy coloring as well, you can switch out the laces with a navy one, which I think is a really nice feature that they've added to each shoe, because then you can have a little bit more customization per shoe user. So I think Matthew will probably stick with the white laces, but again, having a darker pair of laces is always really nice because then you can kind of switch up the vibe of the shoe, as well as if you're a little bit of a more messy person, and Matthew kind of is because he likes to unlace his shoes before he even gets into the house and his laces drag on the ground. So I do think that a darker pair of laces will be helpful in that aspect. The bouncing sneakers retail for $1,050, which honestly is not bad in terms of shoe land for Hermes. So I do think that these shoes are pretty good value for what they're worth because they are an all leather shoe. And then the last thing I did end up picking up was a singular piece of clothing. and it is this really cute cropped gray sweater from Miu Miu. So this sweater I had tried on in Hawaii when I went to Miu Miu because there are 2 Miu Miu stores in Hawaii. There are no Miu Miu stores in the Bay Area. But in Hawaii, when I shopped at Miu Miu, I did end up picking other clothing items to buy instead. And Miu Miu is not a cheap brand in any means, so I didn't want to go overboard and buy too many things. But I have been thinking about this sweater for so long since Hawaii, and I went to Hawaii last October, so this has really been living rent-free inside my head, and it's really nothing special. It's just a really cute, comfortable, and flattering gray cropped sweater. It does have that really cute Miu Miu logoing in the front, but I kept just thinking about it and seeing it, and I don't really have too many cropped long sleeve sweaters, so I thought that this would be a nice sweater to add, and because it's gray, it's a great neutral, so I'll wear a lot and I'll wear for a very long time. So I did end up picking this sweater up. I just had to order it because obviously there's no Miu Miu store in my area. I believe this sweater retailed for $1,350, so yeah, a little bit expensive for sure. But I did mention at the beginning of the year, I'm not really interested in getting too many bags this year, and I definitely want to focus my attention on more fine jewelry and also nicer pieces of clothing. So Miu Miu is one of the brands that I do really love, and so I would love to add more and more of their pieces to my collection, and this is just a great little basic to add. You can layer on top of it, you can wear it very casually on a day out, so I'll definitely be getting a ton of wear out of this little sweater. In my last vlog, which is like my Valentine's Day vlog, I also did try on a cropped t-shirt from Loewe. I thought that it might have been a little too cropped or maybe not really worth the money because that one was $650 for a tiny little t-shirt, but again, I feel like it's gonna live rent-free in my head and I might eventually buy it because I personally value the fit of clothing a lot more than maybe like the style or other aspects of the clothing. If I feel like a particular piece of clothing flatters me really well, I just think about it to like no end, especially in terms of pants or like upper body. Everybody's body is different, so sometimes it's difficult for me to find clothing that is just really tailored to my personal silhouette. So when I do find those rare diamonds in the rough, I always want to pick them up. But that is it for me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this sweet and short little unboxing time. If you have any questions, as always, please just leave them down in the comments. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye, guys!